Hi, everyone. Well, first of all, it's a real pleasure to be here in front of you guys today. I normally do teach across El Paso, share anything about my own personal struggles, my life, and some of the themes that we've heard today, themes that I'm going to kind of be going over too. But before I get to any of my topics, I really want to thank all of you guys for being here. And it takes an incredible amount of bravery, tenacity, logistics, knowledge to put an event like this together, no matter how small or big it is. So if we can hand to Marilu, thank you so much. This is amazing. And what makes this event even more amazing is that there's a lot of networking events out there. There's PRSW, and there's all kinds of stuff like that, but there's nothing quite like this. This event is unique in the sense that it's designed to motivate. It's designed to make you feel good about what you're doing so that when you walk out those doors today, you feel empowered, feel great, started. So thank you for doing this because this is really amazing. Now, how many of you have started a business in the last 2 years? Raise your hand. Okay. Now I'm going to bring the room down just a little bit, but bear with me. But 50% businesses don't make it past 5 years. That's a sad statistic. We need to change that. And the reason that that happens is because 50% of business owners are spending way too much money on the wrong tactics, targeting wrong people. I've been a marketing strategist for about 10 years, a little over. That started in about 2010, 2009, back when social media was brand new. And last year was the first year that I managed to accomplish a huge milestone in my life. I'm going to give you the 30-second version of my life the way that it is. I grew up in Segundo Barrio, my abuelita. When my abuelita passed away, I had the foster care system. I was emancipated when I was 16, and I had my son when I was 18. But last year was the first year that I years by myself. That I never would have imagined possible for someone like me who grew up the way that I did, who hitchhiked across New Mexico, who lived homeless, who lived in the foster care system. Never imagined something like this would ever happen to me. But the 3 tactics that I'm going to teach you today are guaranteed to help you live life more strategic and also apply those same to your lives. Because even if you're already making 6 figures right now, great for you. If you're hoping to make 6 figures at some point, take some notes. Because everything that I've learned over the last 10 years helped me get to where I am today. So my number 1 rule for living more strategically is to give more you receive. And in business, that's called the 80-20 rule. And you can really apply that rule to almost everything that you do in your business, in your life, whether you're posting a lot about, whether you're posting on social media. I moved to New Mexico for 4 years. And I've already mentioned to you that I grew up in foster care, so I don't have any family here. I don't have connections at all to El Paso, but I came back because this place is home for me. So when I came back, I didn't have anything at all, but I did have my talent for writing, and I considered myself at that time. And I wrote so much, and I had such a passion for it that Doug Pullen, who's currently at the Community Foundation, he noticed my passion for writing, and he allowed me to write for the El Paso Times. I wrote for free, but I wrote for the El Paso Times for the entertainment section for several years. And what this enabled me to do is to make really valuable connections like the ones that you're hopefully going to be making today. It put me in front of really scary situations, a little bit like this one. I got to interview Paul, to interview the mayor. I got to interview someone that really made an impact in my life, Beto O'Rourke. He was running for Congress at the time, and we really meshed very well, so I started volunteering for him. I started doing events for him. I started doing social media for him, all for free. And what ended up happening is that he wrote me a letter of recommendation, and I was able to get my first dream job with Visit El Paso, doing social media and content production with them. And from that point to where I am now, if I hadn't gotten that letter of recommendation, I wouldn't be where I am today. Who knows what job I would have had? I don't know. It wouldn't have been this one. So giving more than you receive, I know it's hard, especially if you're struggling, but it's so important. And if you're already making those six figures, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, being philanthropic, all that karma comes back to you. I guarantee you, whether you do bad things in business, good things in business, you've fucked someone over in the past, it comes back to you. So do good, be a good person, because it will pay you back in spades. My second tactic, one that to talk about because I never really considered myself a woo-woo person, but vision boarding is so crucial. And in business, that's called creating SMART goals, measuring KPIs, right? How many of you guys in this room have had to put together a SMART goal report or KPIs or something like that in which you have to report to someone, right? So that's what I did for myself. I created a SMART goal for myself to earn 6 figures. I had a little picture. They had little, I had dollar bills. I photoshopped myself. I'm gonna be rich, right? And let me just tell you, if you haven't reached 6 figures and you're wanting to, you're not gonna be rich. It's not. It sounds like a big number. It all goes to taxes, unfortunately, or a new roof. But SMART goals is so important. Now, as something about myself, I don't really like to brag, but for the last 2 years in a row, I've achieved President's Club status with iHeartMedia. Now that might sound fancy, it might sound, I don't know what that means. What is President's Club? That means I'm one of the best integrated marketing strategists in the market of El Paso. I have surpassed my clients' goals over and over again because I sit down with them and I understand what their goals are. And whenever you set a SMART goal for yourself, the whole purpose of it is to get outside of your comfort zone, to set something to have a vision that feels impossible. So I'll tell you how I got the President's Club Award two years in a row. So what I did is, 1, give more than you receive. 2, sit down with my clients and explain, you can reach this. It feels like you can't get to reach without having a huge budget, but that's simply not true. You have to leverage the technologies that are available to you, whether that's social media, whether that's podcasting, whether that's broadcast, whatever it is that you're doing, you have to leverage those technologies to spend the right amount of money that you feel comfortable with, but surpass those goals. And because I'm able to surpass those goals for my clients, 2 years in a row, I've been able to win this award. By setting SMART goals for yourself, you really are creating a plan that you can meet. You start putting these wheels together in which you start creating steps to reach those goals. And once you reach them, then it's on to the next one. In the last 2 years, I've had to update my vision board 3 times. Now, all that's left for me is my fitness goals, but my professional goals, I've been able to crush them. And the only reason why is because of a vision board. So when you get home today, I really encourage you to put something together, even if it's digital, even if it's in Canva, if you print it out, you set it somewhere, put it somewhere where you can remind yourself, this is who I want to be. This is the vision of who I want to see myself as in the next 5 years, 10 years. And you can do that for your business as well. The third tactic I'd like to share with you is expertise without ego. And this one's really hard for me because in the beginning of my career, I did a lot of social media, I did a lot of content. That was my entire life. And now I'm in a place where my career is sort of evolving. But you don't have to have the flashiest social media presence to convey that you're successful. You don't need to have the most expensive, don't need to have the most cutting edge branding. None of that matters. And sometimes we have to put our ego aside and showcase expertise instead of our ego in order to get ahead. I'll give you a story. So when I started, which is my business, I was for work. It was almost final. Until the last month of these legal wheels in order, that I realized that the financial documents were doctored. They were fake. And if I had continued buying the company, I would have bought a single company that was. The problem with this, I had already clients that I was going to acquire a company. In fact, I had already started a marketing campaign announcing that React Republic was going to merge with a specific company, and I had to backtrack. Humiliating, and it was one of the worst things that to date has probably happened to me in my professional life. But I still had to provide excellent service to my existing clients. It wasn't my fault that happened. So I had to provide amazing service without letting the pain of humiliation affect my work. And I explained to my clients what happened. And you know what? That made my business that much stronger, because these clients followed me and they understood how terrible that situation followed me all those years. Some of them still even run with me at iHeartMedia. But you have to remember to put your ego aside, no matter what, when it comes to your business. Expertise without ego. Let the data speak for itself. Let the numbers speak for themselves. For example, with me, with the President's Club, they're all numbers, right? And I hadn't posted on social media. I think I've posted once in my stories, hey, I got this award, great. And it is because the numbers are more than the award that I received. Now, the lessons that I've shared with you today, 3, but I have of lessons to share with you. So if my content creation checklist, first 3, at this QR code, you're also going to be a part of my monthly newsletter. And I'm at a national podcast later this year called The Marketing Planner. I talk about social media, talk about marketing. I talk about all sorts of different things with hundreds of, just from El Paso. They're from all over the United States. Some of them are even from across the today. I'm strategically down so you can create content a little strategically with put some support together. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you.